Hello everyone, it's 22nd of October and today we're going to be celebrating the World Champagne Day. And to celebrate this occasion today, we are going to be joined by Ms. Rupali Bhatnagar. She is the Associate Vice President and Senior Winemaker for Sparkling and White Wines with Sula Wine Units. Ms. Rupali Bhatnagar has been with the company for almost 15 years now, and she is responsible for various aspects of winemaking, including bottling, grape selection, and the winemaking strategy as well. So we would like to welcome Ms. Rupali Bhatnagar in our session. Welcome to the session, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Kunal.
My pleasure. So, on the occasion of World Champagne Day, we would like to ask you a few questions and get more insights about champagne. Before we start, I would like to, also address our audience that champagne, which is probably one of the most popular beverages, alcoholic beverages in the whole world, there are different ways of, opening it. As we all know, first way is to probably pop a bottle. The second is to saber a bottle, and of course, if you are not indulging in drinking champagne, then you can do a variety of things that could be related to champagne. So you can actually visit the Champagne area or the Champagne region in France, or there have been occasions where champagne is also served for breakfast. So interesting way of drinking
Yeah.
it at different times of the day. So the World Champagne Day, we tried to research and found out that it was launched by an American blogger. His name was Chris Oginfus, and he wanted to commemorate and appreciate the wine of the kings, which is champagne, and that's why he started this day. And of course, we can't forget, and we have to mention Dom Perignon, who is believed to be the founder of champagne, and also his very famous and very popular quote which he had when he discovered or when he first made champagne. He just said, "Come quickly, I'm tasting the stars." So that was another very interesting quote by him, which was related to champagne. So also to give a few facts about
Right.
champagne for people who are not aware, there's almost 49 million bubbles in a bottle of champagne, and these are almost three times than what you find in beer. So it's a pleasure, ma'am, to have you on our session. So please allow me to start our chat with the first question for the day, which is why is champagne associated with celebration? The moment you see a party happening, there is some kind of an anniversary or wedding or any kind of social celebration that we have here in India or across the globe, the first thing that comes to our mind is that bottle which is popped, which is a bottle of sparkling wine or champagne. So, what's the reason behind
Kunal, the tradition of drinking champagne for celebration basically started in Europe.
it? Mm-hmm.
It started during 1789 sorts, wherein they're actually drinking expensive drink was
Okay.
considered to be a status symbol.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why royalty actually loved the novelty of sparkling wines, you know. So
Okay.
that's why there the tradition started of drinking champagne for celebrations. Moreover, champagne itself, when you open a bottle of champagne, the wine just gushes out. Okay,
Right.
so it signifies opulence, signifies abundance. So symbolically, it is considered to be a drink of festivities and celebrations. That's why it
Okay.
is considered to be, drink of celebrations.
Right. Very interesting, fact behind that. Thank you very much for sharing it. My next question is, do you think with the kind of premiumness that is associated with champagne, do you think that the price for a good bottle of champagne, or let's say a vintage champagne, for example, is that justified? Also considering, we have a backdrop. I'm sure some of us know what exactly Méthode Champenois is. So, do you think the price of a good bottle of champagne is justified considering the intricate method of producing champagne?
Yes, Kunal. First of all, it's very important to understand that what champagne is, because nowadays champagne is used as a very generic term,
Hmm.
right? Any sparkling wine we tend to call them champagne. It's not champagne, but
Right.
champagne usually specifically refers to a sparkling wine that's made by Method Traditionnel, comes from the region in northern France and Champagne region, right? So
Right.
that's very important for us to understand that other sparklers that are produced in other French regions cannot be labeled as champagne.
Correct.
And moreover, champagne has it follows a method traditional, or you can even call it as method champenois, which is a very, very difficult method in
Mm-hmm.
terms of wine production. The first thing, there's certain factors that needs to be considered that contributes to the higher pricing of champagne. The first thing is climate. The climate in Champagne region is very, very difficult as such, if you'll see, because it's very cool, and to get the grapes in that kind of climate is very difficult. That's why it comes with a very hefty price tags.
Right.
The second important factor is the process. As I told you, the method Champenois is not an easy process. There are two fermentations. There's a primary fermentation, when you make a base wine, and also for
Mm-hmm.
making base wines, there are very stringent parameters that needs to be followed.
Mm-hmm.
So after you make base wine, then you have to subject the base wine to a fermentation. That's secondary fermentation, and then it's a very elaborate procedure wherein you have different technical. You need to be producing. You need to be making yeast culture, and then that yeast culture process takes 10 days. Then after that, you need to be doing a tirage bottling. That wine then goes into the bottle, and that bottle is supposed to be aged for minimum of 3 years to call it a champagne.
Okay.
Needs to have a pressure of almost 6 to 7 bars as such. So
Mm-hmm.
the process itself is very laborious. And
Right.
traditionally now we have these big machine called as gyro palettes for you cannot filter a sparkling wine directly. To clear that lees that has settled in the bottle for all these years, there's a specific process called as riddling, and then there's a
Mm-hmm.
process called as disgorging. So
Right.
for riddling, we have manual. There used to be manual process for riddling. You have this perpetuals or manual racks, wherein you put each and every bottle of champagne in those manual racks, and you need to rotate them at a particular angle,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that process itself is very elaborate. Takes almost, some people subject their bottles to almost 3, 3, 4 months of riddling programs.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got machines called as gyropalette that does the process for us for in 5 to 7 days. So
Okay.
it has become easier now, but then the traditional process was very time consuming, very laborious. And moreover, the storage period of champagne itself to develop those autolytic characters, the buttery, the creaminess, the biscuity, the doughy kind of note that develops in champagne, that's very typical of champagne, takes a lot of time, because the
Correct.
yeast autolysis process takes a lot of time. That's
Right.
why all of this process also makes champagne very expensive and very exclusive kind of a drink.
Correct. Correct. Thank you very
It
much.
does justify
Right.
that.
Great. So, first of all, thank you very much for explaining the whole process in a capsule, in a nutshell for us. Obviously, like you said, it is a matter of patience, and it takes good amount of efforts as well when you're trying to make good quality champagne. And I think that's one of the reasons why champagne, or the price for champagne, is justified. So, yes, I think given the fact that it takes so much of time, including the aging that you mentioned, 3 years, we find bottles of champagne that are really expensive. All right, so moving on, I would like to also ask, India being predominantly let's say a spirit or a beer drinking country, do you think the Indian consumers, with the whole awareness of wines that is now at the moment going on, do you think Indian consumers are ready for champagne or sparkling wines for that matter?
In general, some wine connoisseurs, yes, they are, but not in general all our Indian consumers, because champagne is a very serious drink, okay, to enjoy it, to understand it. The thing is, as I work for Sula, we were producing traditional method. We were making, I will not call it champagne, but we were making a traditional method sparkling wine, which followed the same procedure and everything. People used to drink it as a sparkling wine. They never understood the seriousness of those autolytic flavors and the creaminess and the butteriness that the
Right.
method Champenois can contribute. So Indian consumers, yes, they are, talking about sparkling wines, yes, they are showing a very positive response, but not champagne particularly because we don't understand that drink so much.
Okay. Okay.
And in comparison to beer, if you compare beer with champagne, beer definitely has a much bigger market to talk about that. If you talk about general spritzers, fruit sparkling wines, and all that stuff, yes, the younger consumers are getting diverted to that, but not to champagne that much.
Okay. Okay. So with the belief that Indian consumers over a period of time definitely should understand the difference between, first of all,
They
the
will.
spark.
The thing is, see, with
Right.
more and more wine companies coming in India, and
Yes.
more knowledge being spread, and more tasting sessions being conducted,
Correct.
people are understanding the seriousness of winemaking and all that stuff. So that's what I told you. Now we have many wine connoisseurs in our country, and they do understand the importance of champagne as such. So going forward, we might have a big count of champagne lovers as such in our country.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. And I think Sula Vineyards have taken this initiative because we know about a good sparkling wines that Sula definitely produces. Also, the wine in a can now, which is making consumers more aware of wines in general, and getting the millennials especially attracted towards wines, who are probably looking for different options. They're adventurous in terms of trying. So there is, apart from the beer, now there is wine in a can. So yes, I think with all these initiatives, people should be more aware about wines and what are the different types, and how sparkling wines and champagnes can definitely bring value to the celebration that they are going to be having. So with that thought, I think thank you very much for sharing
Thank
your
you,
piece of
Kunal.
knowledge and pearls of wisdom that you have related to the wine industry. Thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to meeting you hopefully soon face to face.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kunal.
Thank you.